So I've been playing Yakuza Dead Souls.
Hey guys, it's me, the CEO of SEGA Corp, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Hey.
So I'ma get straight down to business here. Right now, the Yakuza series is the only respectable and active franchise that we have.
Right.
And we can't have that. See, ever since I took over the company, I've been taking up the valiant effort to make sure that SEGA runs as ineptly as possible.
Yeah, I've noticed.
Okay, but see, the thing is, the Yakuza series is just too damn good. At first, I was all like, hey, maybe I can star in the new game instead of that Kazuya guy. But then I took a long hard look at what's ruining the competition.
Steam.
After which, I came to the realization that Yakuza needs zombies.
Well, first of all, it's not called Yakuza, it's actually called Like a Dragon.
Yeah, that's cute. Make sure that you rush the game as much as possible and that the frame rate never tops 20. See ya, wouldn't wanna fucking be ya.
Well, fuck.
The Yakuza series has always had a bit of a weird relationship with spin-offs. There were the old-timey Japan-style Ishin games that instead of fisty butts featured sword fighting in various styles. The PSP games made by the Def Jam people because, I guess that fits. And also, there was this.
Yakuza fucking Dead Souls.
The zombie spin-off and supposedly also the worst game in the entire series. And out of all of these deviations, this is the one that they decided to release outside of Japan. Still very much taking place inside of Japan though, it sees the now super familiar Kamurocho district overrun by zombies. Cause there's like some mysterious man guy with a dad cap who goes around biting members of the Yakuza, turning them into zombies and then having them bite regular civilians, turning them into zombies too. And in the midst of this, Haruka gets kidnapped by another mysterious man guy and the main villain of Yakuza 2 is alive again somehow, and all in all, things end up getting rather Resident Evil in more ways than one.
Look at that face.
Seriously, by the time they went all, maybe someone's manufacturing these monsters as weapons. And this happening, it became pretty hecking apparent where their inspiration came from. And as such, it is also a mildly linear corridor-based third-person shooter. The open-worldy bits with the shops and the side quests and the saunas are still intact, but some parts of Kamurocho will be quarantined off, thus providing what are essentially RE4 levels, only like bad. Cause yeah, I was going to dance around this originally, big revealing the game's shitness near the end, but A, this is already widely referred to as the worst Yakuza game already, and B, it's hard not to bring up the bullshit when dealing with footage that looks like this. You know, I hate to bring up the AVGN memes this early, but as I played the game, one phrase kept coming to mind.
What were they thinking?
Remember those cute little corridors and alleyways that made me gush over the details in my Yakuza 4 review? Well, now imagine having to shoot within them. Yakuza Dead Souls essentially redefines the term corridor shooter, and not in a good way. You get 4 boys to play with. Akiyama, the loan shark who dual wields 2 akimbo bimbos, Majima, who goes full gung-ho like a gun-ho with his pump-action shotgun, Ryuji, who was the main bad guy of Yakuza 2 but is now as much of a reluctant do-gooder as the rest of the cast, and also,
he has a fucking gun arm!
And finally, of course, sweet baby Kazuma, who's just kind of freeballing. All boys can be equipped with whatever, however, but those are their special weapons unique to them. They don't really play all that differently from each other though, as the game's about as simple of a shooter as can be. You shoot by bashing R1 over and over and lock on and aim roughly automatically-ish based on the direction your character's facing. You reload with square and get to run around leisurely as you do, but holding L1 kinda gives you an over-the-shoulder like angle, given that the fucking camera feels up to it at least, which makes you strafe sort of whilst blocked into the direction of face, which is really optimal. And finally, you're also able to aim manually whilst holding down L2, only you aim with the left analog stick, aka the walking one, which is about as intuitive as square wheels on a seatless bicycle, and you can dodge with X and perform melee combat with circle, which is rarely ever needed, TBH fam. And that's about it. Heat moves are still a thing, I guess, seeing as how shooting a bitch fills a bar, allowing you to perform special snipe shots like blowing up a car by shooting the hubcap or firing at a radiator, thus releasing the flames. But they don't really add all too much other than just looking cool. Which kinda goes for the upgrade system as well. It's a good look to have, definitely, and it gives the illusion of progression, but really, shit like 4 more inventory slots or gets up faster having been knocked down don't exactly get the cogs pumping. All of it feels rather finicky and poorly thought out. The shooting itself doesn't really have any beef or punch to it, sans Majima's shotgun, which was great, and seeing as how it still uses the usual Yakuza running speed and the fact that the camera is total garbage, it kinda makes it seem like the game just isn't all that great. Okay. Yakuza has always had some minor visibility issues in terms of its tight-ass hallways. However, little to no combat actually happened within them, and when it did, the camera would zoom the fuck out. Here, that is not the case, as they went for this light over-the-shoulder type angle, which does not mix well at all with the alarmingly high running speed and the far too sensitive non-adjustable camera controls. Every corner, shelf, doorway, or object can result in clipping, getting ganked, or outright being twisted and turned upside down. The auto-aim does kinda help in a way, but shooting at shit you can't even see isn't any fun. Quite often, the camera will just look away, pointing off to the side, even while L1ing. Which is to say nothing about the elevation issues and the struggles of looking up or down with the bupkis FOV and the cluster-fuckingly high zombie counts of the later levels. It sucks fucking dick, if you can excuse my frank. It's like some people on the Yakuza team cooked up this neat idea and put far too much effort in the beautifully dilapidated Kamurocho cityscape, and then like some other person walked in who was a fan of Left 4 Dead and RE4 and was like, "Yo, let's combine those. That would be cool." And so these two very independently conceived plans end up clashing together heavily, with controls that don't work for the enemies, and enemies that don't jive with the levels, and levels that don't gel with the controls. Well, either that or Sonic really did come crashing down through the ceiling to demand this shit. No matter which way you look at it though, it is a not good. Sometimes the game goes all quiet, letting you really soak up the atmosphere of what could have been a grade A horror experience. And then the gameplay happens. If it sounds like I hate the game or as if I didn't enjoy it at all, then I wouldn't say that that's true, as there are still some elements at play that made it a decent enough time overall. For one, Dead Souls actually managed to give a sense of purpose to the series' its long-running weapons modifying feature, being that normally if you drop a weapon or it runs out of weapon juice, it's gone. And considering that the combos are far more satisfying anyway and that there's plenty of pick-upable shit scattered about the place, I never really felt compelled to spend money just so I could wrap some barbed wire around the baseball bat. But here, all of the scrap metal garbage laying beneath the rubble and ruins of Kamurocho can be used to upgrade your rather limited arsenal of weapons, thus giving off a neat sense of growth and progression. I mean, you don't lose or drop a shotgun, you fucking marry that bitch. And so, pimping her ass out real nice, polishing shit up at that, increasing damage outputs, reload speeds, and ammo capacities, it's pretty great. Secondly, the boss fights, not awful. Certainly far from great, but at least they have the common fucking decency to switch out the corridors in favor of wide open areas, and they take quite a few cute cues from Resi bosses as well, giving them cool patterns and obvious tedious but fun to uncover weak spots, requiring timed heat move finishers like this big, not Gigantos looking fella, who's coated in breakable armor, thus revealing his red zone, which could be blasted the fuck with a bloody tank of all things. Or how about this nasty motherfucker who curls up into a ball to hide his no-no zone, actually demanding you to use the manual aim in a way where it actually made sense for you to do so. Both still control terribly, but I dig the additions nonetheless. And lastly, it also has a buddy system letting you have the pleasure of watching their AI wick the fuck out and seeing them die over and over.
Great job there, buddy. Proud of you.
Besides the fact that you get to
run over zombies in a fucking forklift truck. This is the true Shenmue 3.
The about town elements are still fully intact and as fun as ever.
Oh my.
And the story is also pretty enjoyable still. I wouldn't say that it holds a candle to any of the others, mainly because it's fucking dumb and also due to it being paced weirdly, what with the first zombie appearance and the total town chaos happening within the first 30 minutes and the plot also taking about 4 whole hours to really get its meat going, but when it does unzip its pants to flop out its Mr. Mans, I was pretty much down with what Dead Souls was offering. Being non-canonical, it could get away with pulling lots of dumb shit and where they did miss some opportunities here and there, like bringing back old friends as zombies or killing off some main characters or hamming shit up big time, they actually play it far straighter than I ever would have imagined. I mean, yeah, Majima might love the Outbreak initially, being that it's just like his American movie maze. But all in all, they dig quite deep into how this affects this cute little district and its cute little people psychologically. Going through themes like zombie rights activists, Kazuma having to get over his penchants of not ever killing anyone because Batman, I guess. And also,
Look, guys, there's children. Children are so sad. Oh my god.
again, it's nothing to write home about as it stays rather surface level, but it did get me emotionally invested at least a few times. Which is more than I can say for the Resident Evils what this game seems to take after. It's just that the game mostly sucks dick. At its best, shit's okay enough, I guess, but still kinda boring, and at its worst, which is most of the time, the game is frustrating, repetitive, and almost completely broken. It's one of those games where, even though I did kind of enjoy the whole package, it simply doesn't hold up when reviewed critically. You know, games like RE Dead Aim, Dirge of Cerberus, Way of the Samurai 4, or even Deadly Premonition in some aspects. So, hey, at least it's short. Averaging out at about 10 hours per playthrough, which is nothing compared to the other Yakuza games, and the fact that you get to play as ex-villains give the story some cool and interesting points of view as well.
Attention, Yoda-san. Here. My Katie. Sonogagi. No reglamento minas.
This fucking game, man. Goddamn.